Okay, so the concept of lifetime employment and cases of lifetime employment is more in Japanese companies. Now this is not something which I have read somewhere. That is definitely there, available as a literature. You can go through Google and Google will tell you the concept of lifetime employment, which is a very concrete culture in most of the Japanese organizations. I have a live example with me. My nephew, my sister's son, he went to Japan in 1999. Last year, it's almost after 21 years, he changed the job. Because he got a good offer from Wipro. Now, whenever Azim Premji goes to Japan, he is always with him. That's why he shifted. Otherwise, he was with, I guess, Sony. I forgot the name of the earlier company. Some typical Japanese name. Two-wheeler company. Anyway, I like you to forget such kind of things nowadays. So he is with that two-wheeler manufacturing company was 20 years. He would not have left the job if this lucrative offer would not have been with him. So if you see the Japanese culture, most of the people will join the company and they will get the retirement from the same company. That doesn't happen in our companies for a reason that if you are being given an appointment letter of some particular designation, and if you ask them what is going to be my designation after 5 years, what is going to be my promotion pattern, what will be my salary at the time of retirement, what benefits will I get at the time of retirement, they will start abusing you. Why are you asking such nonsense question? अभी सिर्फ 22 साल के हो, आपका retirement का क्या करने गए? But in Japan, when they give you an offer letter, or when they appoint you, all the benefits till the retirement are defined by them. What we call as a career progression and career advancement. How you are going to go up in the hierarchy, what are the possible ways you can go up to the next level, what you should improvise on it, how is going to be your increment every year, when you will be able to change from one designation to another bracket of the designation, what will be the designation when you will retire from this organization. So it's a very crystal clear path, defined career path by this organization. Therefore, I know what is going to be my future after 35 years. In Indian companies, पता नहीं आपको कल भी आने देंगे नहीं. आज शाम को बोलिए कल से मत आओ. Right? That's a fact. But unfortunately, very negative fact. And that is where the problem of matching your work ethos with the work ethos of the company is a question. So why are you working? Why are you working for that company? What is the purpose and meaning of working for that particular company? So these all questions, if you try to match up with your own ideologies, then only we can say that work ethos has been achieved. So it's a state of mental being which is employee engagement. This may not be a new concept, but the Indian companies are nowadays talking about employee engagement. Engagement में क्या होता है? You know the meaning of engagement. When two people come together, they get married. उसके पहले क्या होता है? Engagement होता है. Engagement is for the purpose of taking a vow of continuing their entire life together. Isn't it? Same concept is here. Employee engagement means the employee should be engaged as if you engage with your fiancé. The employee should be engaged with the organization so that he will not separate out. Means he will not leave the company. And for which you need to have what? A good coordinated relationship between husband and wife. Isn't it? Why divorces are happening? Because there is no engagement. Now engagement, another meaning you can take it, involvement. So involvement is not there, the company is likely to get separated. So if I as an employee, now when I am saying the word employee, this is applicable to the managers as well. Because the employee is usually treated to the operating level people, not management. But managers are getting more, so we think about managers also. There has to be some programs where, or some kind of initiatives by the company where manager will not leave. It's not only the money, or because of the money people are leaving. There is a very golden statement in business management. They say people do not leave their jobs. People do not leave their jobs. They leave their bosses. If you cannot adjust with your immediate supervisor, that is the reason you will think, चलो जाने दो, नहीं यहाँ पे काम करेंगे. We'll find out some another organization. The reason is boss, not the company. Company is giving you fair salary, all perks, all benefits, everything. But then if you cannot get along with your immediate supervisor, you are likely to leave the job, and that unfortunately is happening in most of the Indian industries. So there the entire reason for which you are doing the work, the very philosophy you are trying to be associated with the company, but your company is not allowing you to do that, then you are likely to leave. In that case, it is said that the employee engagement is at a poor level. All those companies who are having high turnover are said to be less giving importance to employee engagement. Turnover means just like financial turnover, paisa aata hai, paisa jata hai. Just like that, labor turnover or employee turnover, the employees are joining and they are leaving. The highest rate of turnover indicates that there is no possibility of employee engagement. And what is employee engagement? When two people in the couple will remain engaged, will remain involved with each other, it is a mental thing. When you think that we both are compatible to each other, we have to adjust with each other, we have to stay with each other for the entire life. So it is not a feeling which should be only on one side. It will not happen. It has to be from both the sides. If I want to be with that company for years, I will definitely be thinking what my company will be giving back to me. Yesterday also there was a thought which we discussed that what you are doing for your country is also equally important than asking for the country to do the things for you. So what you are giving back to the country, that way what you are giving back to your organization, the company where you are working, when company is paying you all those benefits, it matters that what is your mental. So if both the things are balanced, then only you will remain engaged. If both the people are trying to understand each other, the reason, the purpose, meaning of life, why do you want to live together and what drives you to live together, then you will remain engaged. Engagement meaning per se was different, but remaining engaged later, that matters a lot. It depends upon on both the sides. So it is not what happens is disengagement, divorces. Ethos are the moral ideas and attitudes that belong to a particular group of society. So ethos is not from scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, etc. Ethos are defined by individual organization. Individual organization has got a culture defined by the same organization. So I will decide as a company what should be my ethos. I'll give you one or two examples. If you give a Google search about work culture in Google, do that after the class gets over. You will see the kind of facilities which Google, even Microsoft are providing. No other company across the world is providing. Can you believe? I'll give you some examples which are the facilities given to all the Google employees that they are
sleeping pod.
Pardon?
Sleeping pod.
Sleeping
Pod.
pod.
Yes, means if the employees are getting tired or feeling sleepy, so they can sleep there.
Okay. Then there are few other facilities which will be surprised. You can bring the entire family's laundry to your office. They have got big washing machines kept there, and there is an ironing man also. He will do the ironing to your clothes, and you can take it home while going home. The entire family will be sent on vacation. The company will be. The entire family's all the medical expenses will be borne by the company. You can take the example of any corporate out of India. Most of these developed countries. You will be surprised to listen to their facilities. None of the Indian corporates, barring exceptionally few IT companies, they are not giving those kind of facilities. They will give you 150 paid leaves out of 365 days. Then they will give you, if you're from India and if you're there only for your job, then they will allow you to come to India once a year on company's expenditure. They will take your family to wherever company you are working, whichever country you are working. They will take the entire family to that country. They will make your family members to move around the best places and all the expenses of the company. Your all medical expenses will be borne by that organization, by that company. Even if you are ill today, you go to the chemist and you purchase say $20 of medicines. Simply the bill has to be given to the counter of HR. They will reimburse you in the salary. If your family is there and if anybody is ill, some of the companies will take care about your medical expenses even in India. You are working there because you are their employee. All traveling is free. Your food in the campus is free. Your snacks are free. Your stay is free. Your traveling, transportation, daily routine, everything is free. You will be given free. Talking about Google facilities, those are much more than. It's better you see that video. You cannot imagine. So there was one company, incidentally I came across in India, which is an advertising company. Some of you might be knowing the name of that company called as Lintas. Lintas Group is one of the few biggest advertising companies in India. So there was one very famous name in the field of advertisement. Marketing people should know this name. He is Mr. Bharat Dabolkar. I don't know whether you have heard his name or not. So Bharat Dabolkar was earlier working with Lintas, and then he shifted and he started with his own advertisement company, advertisement consultancy company. So the kind of culture which he has maintained in his organization was something totally different. For example, he used to select different managers to work on different assignments. So he used to ask that manager, okay, how you would like to have your cabin? What kind of cabin or maybe interiors you would like to do in your cabin? So whatever the manager used to tell, he used to make his cabin like that. There was one manager, I have seen, there was a separate issue on one magazine called as Inside Outside on the office interior of this Mr. Bharat Dabolkar. So there was one manager who was very much fond of black color. He said that I want all my walls to be black, the flooring black, ceiling black, and the photograph of his cabin was shown. You could see only the face of that manager because he was wearing the black color dress also. But then he said, okay, you want this kind of an environment for you, and if you are comfortable in that environment, I'll give you that environment. There was another person who said that I am not at all very much interested in getting and working formally. I may not be wearing such kind of blazers and ties and feeling too hot and too kind of exhausted. So I would like to work in a very casual kind of an environment. So I'll be wearing my Bermudas, I'll be wearing a t-shirt, and I don't want table and chair. Give me some 2-3 bean bags and an informal sitting, I'll work. His cabin, photograph I have seen. His cabin is all just like 2-3 bean bags here and there. He's on Bermuda with a cup of coffee on his right hand side and laptop on the left side, the operating laptop on the right hand side. Why this is required? Because you want to think about employee being engaged. So if your company is providing you all those facilities which you want as you desire, then you will definitely not think of leaving. Getting my point, or rather accepting my point, what is the possibility that you are working as an executive manager just as a fresher and you tell your terms and conditions, मुझे ऐसा चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए, वो दूसरा कंपनी ढूंढ हमारे यहाँ पे आपके लिए जॉब नहीं है. You can dictate the terms only when you will go to the senior level. Like in my introduction, it was told that I am a director of DY Patel Institute of Management Studies, which I have left long back. In the month of May, I left, and then I decided not to be the director because I have been director for 11 years and I got fed up with all that technicalities, lot of compliances, lot of documentation. So I thought, let me not do this administration work. Even being a director, I used to teach for 12 to 16 hours in a week because teaching is my passion. I used to like teaching. So there, after I left, there were many appointments. So there were demand from the colleges that why don't you come to our institution and become a director. I told them, boss, these are my conditions. If you are ready to take me under these conditions, I am ready to come. Otherwise, I am not interested in director. So finally, there is one institution in Pune who accepted my conditions and they allowed me to do whatever you want. But then you come to our institution that we want to use your name as a brand name for our institution. Why I could dictate these terms today? Because I have reached to that level. So you might also, you will definitely be reaching to that stage, maybe after 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, where you can also dictate your terms and conditions. Why? Because you want to remain engaged with that company. And this can be possible only when your ideologies of work ethos are matching with what philosophy the company is having, which is very difficult to find in fact. Because work ethos, to take it in simple words, is some rules, regulations companies making. For example, most of the companies will ask you to wear iCards. Yesterday also I asked you, where you told me that your iCards are not ready now. Most of the companies will make it mandatory to use the iCards. And that iCard is a typical lace with the iCard. I am the person, I get irritated because with the help of those kind of iCards. I can never have that thing hanging in my neck and I can work. So whenever I have received or used iCard, I have removed that lace first of all. Then I have to put that iCard here. There's a button, normal shirt button, you can hang that button here. So it doesn't come in between. You can just experience it when the lace wala iCard will come and you will start using. Whatever you are doing, you are writing something, iCard will come in between. That may be a very funny example, but then it is something to do with your comfort. If you are not comfortable wearing ties and blazers, many people in management gets very irritated by using these formal dresses. Go to IIM, none of the IIM professors are using tie and blazers. I have seen professors. I have gone to many IIMs in many of the times. IIM Ahmedabad. Yesterday I mentioned MBA Communication Studies. The head of the department is Mr. M.M. Mathukutti. He comes in blazers and very dirty slippers and any kind of t-shirt whichever he finds on his home, he takes it and wears it. But what an effective communicator. He is a brainy person. He is appointed there not because of the kind of dresses which he is wearing, but because of the delivery which he gives and the kind of name which is given for MBA Communication Studies, only institution in India. So what does it matter? Tie और blazer पहनने से अक्ल आ जाता है ज़्यादा? नहीं आता है. That is my philosophy. But then if my organization is making it mandatory that I must be using everyday tie and blazer, I have to. But probably somewhere at the back of the mind I will have this question: is it required? टाई और ब्लेजर पहनने की वजह से मेरा ब्रिलियंस बढ़ेगा क्या, मेरा एफिशिएंसी बढ़ेगा क्या? आंसर इज स्ट्रेट अवे नो. बिकॉज टाई एंड ब्लेजर विल नॉट गिव यू इंटेलिजेंस, इट विल गिव यू लुक which may be required in the front offices, hospitality industry. You can make those people wear compulsory. But maybe back office people, why do you require to have those formal wear? Why do you require to have the uniform in the stock department? And that too white shirt and in production line. It's going to be dirty every day. So the cost will also increase. So these things are to be thought of, which will again make you to be attached or detached with the organization. Maybe a very smaller thing is likely to make you detached with that organization. And then you will be working aloof, you will be working detached with that organization, you will never have a feeling of oneness or ownership with that organization. And the moment you get the oneness with the organization, that's what we can say that the work ethos of the organization and your individual work ethos, work ethics are matching with each other. So these are the moral ideas that you develop by a group or society. When I say society, even your housing society can be one of the examples where the ethos are described. Some you might be saying in some housing society maybe 16 flat or a building of 42 towers or maybe scheme of bungalows. That particular housing society also has got certain rules, regulations or ethos discussed or designed and followed. Like in this Ganpati time, most of the housing societies have got Ganpati in their parking. So there might be some housing society they will say नहीं अगर गणपति बिठा है तो हमको ईद भी सेलिब्रेट करना पड़ेगा, हमको क्रिसमस भी सेलिब्रेट करना पड़ेगा. So let us not have Hindu celebrations, let us not have all religious celebrations. That is what our society has decided. So whosoever comes for collecting the chanda from you, for all celebration, they will say नहीं हम देंगे नहीं, अब हमसे लेंगे नहीं. This is what that society has decided. So it may be when I say society, it is in real meaning the society housing where you are staying, or it may be in general public. If you see the culture of Pune and culture of Mumbai is totally different. Who has decided this? It is only because of the behavioral patterns which have been set like that. So if you could see, compare Pune people with Mumbai people, all the people sitting in front of me are Mumbai people. So you people, Mumbai people are very, very fast as compared to Pune. Because you travel by local, you don't have to get in and get out. Yesterday I have told you. So you are very fast. Pune people are आराम से, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So there was a joke on WhatsApp. One Punekar is telling to, one Mumbaikar is telling to Punekar, which is a typical feature in Pune, that they will keep on slightly accelerating their two-wheeler when they are waiting for the signal to become green. So they are थोड़ा आगे लेके जाएंगे. So the one Mumbaikar is saying to Punekar, while waiting at the signal, if you take your vehicle after some time, some 1 meter, 2 meter, it will not make the signal become green faster. That's what Mumbaikar is saying to Punekar. What Punekar says to Mumbaikar, that if you are looking at the track for the waiting for the train to come, continuously looking at won't make the train to come faster. That again jokes apart, but then that is exactly telling the culture. Likewise, there was one very famous Marathi author. Some of you have heard his name, Pula Deshpande, one of the very famous Marathi author. He has written a very sarcastic comment on Punekar, Mumbaikar and Nagpurkar. Those people who are from Nagpur, from Pune and Mumbai. A very idealistic difference, what he has seen some 60 years before, it still continues. The way Pune people behave, the way Mumbai people behave and the way Nagpur people behave. You ask Mumbai person to stay in Pune, he will get bored, bugged up and he will come back to Mumbai. A Pune person will never stay in Mumbai. He says, नहीं बहुत भागदौड़ है उधर. अपना इधर आराम से कभी भी उठो, आराम से जाओ. तुम जाओगे तब दुकान खोलना है, दोपहर में दो घंटे बंद रखो. That doesn't happen in Mumbai. Mumbai is a city said to be never sleeps as far as India is concerned. So cultural differences are going to be there. Just like that, the organizations also have what cultural differences. And what are those? Those are nothing but the work ethos, the morals, ideas, attitudes, rules, regulations, patterns of behavior defined by the leaders, and those are to be followed by all the followers. I hope you're getting this with so much discussion on this topic. Work ethic is value based on hard work and diligence. That is very common. You go to any industry, they will ask you to do hard work and they will ask you to do diligently. Diligently means meticulously, with dedication, accurately, zero error kind of work. Then a work ethic may include being reliable, having initiative, or pursuing new skills. You have to keep on learning. Yesterday I made a mention of it. You have to keep yourself improvising on your skills, knowledge, attitudes, abilities, competencies. Wherever you are lacking, you have to keep on improving. You have to be reliable. Reliable is the person where you can depend on him. When you tell somebody to be present in a meeting or to arrive at a particular place, if that person is on time, dot time there available, then that person could be said to be reliable. I'll give you an example which all of you will accept and understand. Saurav Ganguly is a reliable player. Sachin Tendulkar is not. Now we'll understand the meaning of reliability. What is the meaning? Saurav Ganguly or maybe Rahul Dravid is a reliable player, but Sachin Tendulkar is not. What do you mean by that?
He can stay for the long time.
He can stay on the crease for a long time, and if specifically when the wickets are coming down, you cannot send Sachin Tendulkar. He will also be coming out with duct. But you can send Rahul Dravid, who was known as wall of Indian team. So he can literally stand as a wall because he was reliable to stay on the crease for whatever amount of time. You know, he will simply play with the bat, but then he will not let the ball come on the stumps. He will stay on the crease for 2 days, 3 days. He has got the records in test matches. Sunil Gavaskar has the record of playing for all the 5 days. Chetan Chauhan has the record of staying all the 5 days. Why these people were reliable? Sachin Tendulkar is not reliable. I mean, 99 pe, many times he has gone on those score of 99, couldn't complete.
Nervous 90s.
Nervous 90s. He has gone back to the pavilion many times at the score of between 90 to 100, couldn't complete the century because he was not reliable. Many times he has gone on ducks. Most of the matches, with some statistics says that where Sachin Tendulkar was a failure, we have won those matches. So, do you mean that he should be always be failure? But still he is a record holder, right? But still we won't be depending on him as far as the team strategy is concerned because he is not reliable. Just a raw example, but I hope with that example you will understand. So when you people are talking about you, they should always be talking about you with respect. I mean, he is a very reliable person. आप उसको कोई भी काम दे दो, and then you rest assured that you will do it. Do the companies have? I mean, when I say companies, your immediate boss or the concerned people have got that much confidence in you that a work is given to you and you are able to fulfill it. That is made to be thought. And pursuing new skills, you have to keep on learning. Virtue that adds to person's character. Now, this is one place where there is likely to be a lot of confusion. We will be talking later in the slide about different values. I think we'll speak about it first and then I'll come to virtue. Okay, this slide I'll come back to this slide later. I'll explain the concept of values first. Okay, these are the values. These are said to be the values or value systems which is common in the entire world. You go to any country, people are expected to follow those values. Which are those values? 5 or 5 or 5, 10 human values. Love, you are expected to love everybody around. Truth, right action, peace, non-violence. I don't think these are different words which you do not know the meaning of. Integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, servant leadership. Now this word is new. Servant leadership means Nagar Sevak. Sevak is servant. And Nagar means he is looking after that particular area. So servant leadership that he should be behaving like a servant, behaving like a servant and not behaving like a king. Not somebody who is controlling you, but he is giving service to you. Another from source, I got these 7 more additional values. You honesty, which is talking about loyalty, integrity, uprightness, boldness, trust, freedom, team spirit, modesty, fun. What is meant by in this? All are known. So here we are talking about values to be followed in the entire world. 10 values somewhere I found. Conformity, that means compliances, tradition, security, power, achievement, hedonism, that is seeking pleasure, stimulation, self-direction, universalism. None of them are benevolence, means being generous, being compassionate, kind, philanthropy, philosophy. So all these words are talking about human values to be followed by every individual. Now coming back to the slide where I got diverted here. Yes. This is the last sentence. Virtue that adds person's character. I have shown you a list of values. Ideally, all the values should be followed by ideally every individual. Like we should love others, we should respect others, we should trust others, we should be diligent in our all that list of say 5 plus 5 plus 7 plus 10. All the values ideally should be there, all of us following. But then we don't follow all the now where 10 plus 7, 17 plus 27. We don't follow all 27. You accept this. We don't follow all 27. You might be very honest, but at times you might be dishonest. Not all the time. Throughout the life, you may not be honest. Throughout the life, you may not be loving anyone. Now, this love word here has got all that meaning which you have or accept what you have in your mind. The value of the word love has got the meaning except what you understand the meaning of love. So meaning of love is not only between husband and wife, it is not among between lovers, but then it is with everybody around you, you love them. It is not a typical meaning of love. So you may be loving some people, you may be loving your friends, but at times you might be hating. Right? You might be very compassionate about things, at times you may not be compassionate. You might be very empathetic person, at times you are not. So amongst that list of 27, I can guarantee, including me, none of us may be having all those 27 values followed in our life. Right? So for example, honesty is a value. I have shown you in the list, honesty is a value. But then whether you are honest is your virtue. That's why I have shown you that big list. Honesty is a value. Ideally, everyone should be honest. But then whether you are honest or not, if you are, then you possess that honesty as a virtue. So out of those list of 27 values, if you are following a particular value or if you inculcated some value in you, then that value becomes your virtue. Virtue is, as you could see here, that is adding to the person's character, dependability. You should say it. Just now we were discussing about this one, reliable. Reliability is a value that you are expected to be reliable when you are working for some company. But are you reliable? If the answer is no, then reliability value you don't possess, so you don't have a virtue to be a reliable person. See whether you are understanding or you are getting confused by these statements. Out of those 27 values, you just go on putting the tick marks. That I am honest, okay, I am reliable, okay, I love all the people, okay, I am compassionate, okay, then somewhere minus cross, I don't do this. So wherever cross is there, you don't possess that virtue. So virtue is whether you follow that value or not. If you are following, you have that virtue. If you are not, that virtue doesn't exist. So virtue in simple terms, let's make all that still simple, is the quality which you have and the things which you don't have. When you don't have that virtue. When you possess that, it is your virtue. So that is to be seen whenever with reference to that word ethos again, when your values and the value system designed by the company, if those are matching, it means what company expects from you, you possess all those virtues, then only you will find yourself much matching with the company and then you will be engaged with that company. Now these are some of the work ethics or work ethos, whatever you call it. Every company will be asking you to be productive, and bracket I have written not production. Productivity and production is different. Yesterday I had given an example, I remember, of tubelight. Tubelight has got the ability to give 100% of efficiency, but it is not giving. Productivity is talking about efficiency. So how much amount of efficiency you are giving back to whatever you have got stock in comparison with that, how much you are giving. That is productivity. It is nothing to do with the production. So productivity is efficiency. Then diligence, meticulousness. Yeah. Diligence is meticulousness, carefulness, which is expected by everybody. You will be removed from the company immediately if you do a non-diligent work or careless work. You will be removed. There are cases the person is removed on day one. ये कैसे लिखा है आपने? Specifically with written communication, unfortunately most of the PGDM MBA students are very poor. So you have to improvise on a written communication. कुछ application लिखना है, it has been found that the students cannot write. If I ask you to write a new application, this is a real case. One of the students I asked him, कल कहाँ थे? बोले सर नहीं कुछ काम था इसमें, चलो application लिख लिया. उसने लिखा, hi sir, he started the application like this. You cannot write a legal application like that. So that is something, carelessness, meticulous, not having meticulousness, not being careful, not taking care about all such kind of norms, some such kind of standardization to be followed. Reliability we have discussed. Responsibility, this also we discussed yesterday, today morning. Responsibility versus authority. Accountability is one big issue with your generation today. You don't want to take accountability. I am not going to be responsible for that. You have told me, I have already told you, मुझे नहीं आएगा, फिर भी आपने दिया, so you are responsible. So you are not responsible at all for not doing it. But somebody has given you that work, and after you have told him that I am not good at doing it, still you are giving, so you are putting a blame on that other person. In that case, you are not accountable. Accountability is something to do with accountability there. Take a blame when something goes wrong. So you, as a management student, you should be taking the blame on you if something goes wrong. That is supposed to be the ideal leadership characteristics which every management leader, management student should have. If something goes wrong, somewhere you have to assume or you have to understand that there might have been some contribution from my side. Contribution is a positive word, but here I am taking in a negative sense. There is some contribution from my side to make this entire project fail. And then you have to take the responsibility. And yesterday only I have told you that why the CEO, GM level people have got more higher salaries, because they are accountable. They are ready to take the blame if the company doesn't meet the targets, or maybe whatever they have decided, they don't meet with those targets. So they have to have the accountability more, because responsibility is given to them, authorities are also given to them. Still, when they don't perform, then they should be considered themselves accountable for that. Accountability has come from the word accounts. Accounts में कुछ इधर उधर होता है, those are all figures there. So to be accountable for, यहाँ पे minus हो गया, यहाँ पे plus हो गया, कैसे हो गया? Why the company is facing losses? Where is the deficit? How are you going to fill up those deficits? You are accountable. The CEO or maybe general manager of finance is accountable or answerable for that. To make the accountability word more simple, you are answerable for any negative thing happening in the organization. And you have to be answerable and giving the answers to all such kind of questions. Do it yourself. This should be the attitude. You should always be talking about आपको मुझे ये देना चाहिए था, वो देना चाहिए था, तब वो project successful था. Do it yourself. That means you design, you think of it, you design the processes, you design the teams, make the teams, you assign the jobs, distribute the work, and then get it done. So designing starts from designing. When some project is given, let me give an example of a typical example of an IT company. In IT companies, they call it as, there's a concept called as software project management. What do IT companies do? Most of the time they design some kind of software, some kind of apps for most of the foreign countries. As yesterday I mentioned that most of the software engineers are from India, those who are supposed to be very brilliant. So Indian companies, Indian MNC Ethos, they take some project from some company, from some other foreign national, and then the engineers work here, they do the coding, they do all the software design, they test the software, and then the software is sold to them, or whatever terms and conditions that has been, the money has been taken from them, the salaries have been made. So when this project has been taken, there is follow is a project leader, project manager who is appointed. The project manager will appoint team leads, and the team leads will appoint programmers, programmers will appoint coders, coders will appoint data handling clerks, so to say. So while execution, the things will happen in a reverse way. The data will be entered, then coder will give the codes to the data, then programmers will put the data in a particular, what you call technically is some skill set, C++ hai, Java hai, .NET hai. So they will decide what kind of software platform to be used, and then that software will be designed. Then entire team will design it, team lead will test it. In these IT companies, they call it the white box testing and black box testing. Anyone has got any idea? Any BSc electronics? There was somebody in BSc electronics or BA computers, BTech, etc. So they do a testing. Black box testing and white box testing. Testing is in black box testing. You test it at your organization. You run that program and see whether it is working or not. White box testing is you launch a program and then you see whether the program is failing or working properly or not. And then you launch permanently that particular program. So this is a process which is to be followed, and this has to be followed in the same way. Do it yourself. So the program in charge is given that entire assignment of that entire software taken from some foreign nation. So that program leader is responsible for the entire thing to happen. What he is supposed to do is to design, build, create, repair the things if required after this. So this thought should be percolated to all the people in all the departments, irrespective of whether it is a software design or designing in manufacturing, we call it as NPD, new product development. So whether you are coming up with new product, whether you are coming up with some additionals or maybe some changes in the existing product, innovations in the existing product, somebody has to be taking the responsibility, and you as a top level manager should follow this philosophy or doing it yourself. You have to consider it, that product, that project as your baby. That phrase is very much right. You will see the mothers taking care about their babies. Why? Because it is that mother's baby. So she will take utmost care to safeguard that baby, to protect that baby, and to develop that baby. Same thing is applicable to the software, same thing is applicable to the product. So you have to assume the task, target, work given to you is your baby, so that you will be doing it in this phases: designing, then developing, team development, distribution of the work, testing, then getting things satisfied as per all norms and the checklist, and then launching it. So that aspect of the philosophy has to be there, which will match up with the work ethics. Then comes traditional work, which other processes have been traditional that you will keep on following as it is. You cannot change the company policies for your convenience. Work-life balance is the talk of the world today. You go to any corner of the world, every company is talking about work-life balance. Typically, IT companies are talking more. They are working from home. For last almost 2.5 years, they are working from home. Most of the IT companies are still working from home. But still, there is lot of work-life imbalance when they are asking you to be at home, stay at home, and still work for the company. There are many turnovers that happened. During Corona time, many people have left. There was a thing called as big resignation phenomena during this Corona time. It was found, I don't remember the exact paper, somewhere around 60 to 70% people have changed the job during Corona time. So a lot of turnover. Why? Because they were not able to manage the balance between work and life, which is going to be the problem till the time this earth exists and till the time corporate world exists. Because corporate world will be putting you under a lot of assignments, a lot of stresses, a lot of work pressure, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of duties, a lot of accountability. How you manage that work, and on the other side, how you manage your family life, that matters. And the one who is successful in doing that may be successful at the personal life as well as professional, which is very difficult to do. To maintain the balance between your family life, as the name says, family life is a life with your family. Just yesterday only we did the calculation. 9 hours you are with the office people, 3 hours with your family members. Out of the 3 hours also probably half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening is for your eating breakfast, dinner, etc. Half an hour for your favorite television program, maybe more than that. So how much amount of time you give to your family members, that's a big question mark to the management professionals. So it is obvious that the family members are likely to be either angry with you or dissatisfied with you or likely to fight with you. And then you will carry that tension to the workplace, you will fight and you will yell at your subordinates. So it happens from this end to this end and this end to this. The one who is able to keep a proper balance, because family members also know that you have to give your much amount of time to your workplaces. You are supposed to be there for 9 hours, 10 hours. So family members will take care of yourself, take care of you, that you should not be behaving erratic when you come home. Therefore, industries have started Saturday, Sunday off. Why? Only for maintaining work-life balance. If you are giving 5 days to the workplace, 2 days actually you should give to family. So if you are bringing home the work which is to be done in the company, for Saturday, Sunday also you are working from home for the company, it's likely that the family will be remaining unsatisfied. So how we are balancing that, which is the biggest problem, and that depends upon every individual human being. There are techniques. I do give a lot of work-life balance training in corporate. I have given to general level manager of Yazaki very recently. Yazaki Corporation, which is one of the biggest cable manufacturing company, Japanese cable manufacturing company in the world. So there were some Japanese general managers also. My topic was work-life balance. How do you manage this? But still, when the program gets over, the problem persists. The reason is the kind of techniques which I tell you, or which I tell in stress management things. When you implement it during the session, it is very interesting. Yes, it is very good. We will be able to do it. Now, talking about this subject. Now, all of you are thinking subject is very interesting. But then when it comes to writing the answers, अरे कुछ समझा नहीं. Right? The kind of example which I am trying to give you will make you understand the concept very clearly. But when it comes to writing, it differs. तब तो बहुत अच्छा लग रहा था, अच्छे एग्जाम्पल्स थे, अच्छा समझ भी रहा था, लेकिन while writing, it's not being reproduced. So same thing happens. Whenever the training programs are there in the corporates, the training happens, but then the effectiveness of the training doesn't happen. So the training really doesn't work. Before and after, आपने वो एडवर्टीजमेंट देखा होगा ना, वो कहीं बाल बढ़ाने का ऑयल रह गया तो उसका ऐसा दिखा बिफोर एंड आफ्टर घने बाल आ गए उसको. So before training and after training, there has to be some difference, isn't it? After all, it is a kind of a treatment given to human beings from the point of view of behavioral science. Work-life balance ultimately क्या है? You are trying to cash on, or you are trying to depend on how you balance yourself with your work responsibility and family responsibility. When you are going home, a general manager is also expected to carry vegetables, purchase vegetables for cooking in the evening. My wife sent me at 4 o'clock. I have to check on WhatsApp, but she knows that I am in Mumbai. But when I am in Pune at 4:30, I get a WhatsApp message from my wife, a big list of things to be purchased. Dhania do judi, lemon 5 pieces, something like that. And I have to do it. I cannot tell her, I am a director of one MBA school, how can you tell me these kind of things? In that case, I will totally imbalance my work. On Sundays, none of my friends, none of my authorities call me. Because on the day one, at the time of appointment, I have made it a point that I tell to my authorities, sir, please, मुझे Sunday को phone मत करो. Sunday, most of the times I don't carry my phone home. It's a mobile detox. I keep the phone at home, we go out. In case of emergency, to some people, my wife's number is given. But that emergency should be real emergency. अरे वो कल वो लेटर भेजना तक ready है क्या? वो करके रखा है मैंने. Why are you calling me on Sunday? My top authorities also don't call me on Sunday. Because पहले एक दो बार phone नहीं उठाने. Next day, sorry sir, I couldn't attend your conference because usually I don't carry my phone on Sundays. So he understands. Next time he won't call me on Sunday. Right? That is a way to manage work-life balance. That is my way of learning. Whether it will work the same way for you, don't know. So you have to find out your own way of managing work-life balance, and that's why companies will take care of it. Because companies are giving you salary, companies are putting you under pressure of work, so they will take care about work-life balance as well. So I was telling you about the facilities given by the companies. So the company will ask you, okay, you get your family, go around go to Kerala, stay with your family for 10-12 days, enjoy nature, come back, all the expenses will be paid by the company. So family is happy. Family will say, इसी company में रहो, और next trip कब जाना है? So what is happening? They are trying to get the work-life balance. Even the companies themselves will be trying to do that. If they are not, it is you who have to decide. So that is again becomes one of the work ethics. Then comes Poor work is what will happen if you are not following all those things. You can read it later. Okay, these are divided into 4 categories. How much time? Okay, do you want to break? 3:30? Break time, 5 minutes. इसको बंद करो जरा.